Welcome back, Storm fans. I have a special gift for you tonight. The one, the only, Tony Mother Effin Scapone. Welcome back, Tony.
I feel welcomed. Let's paint it black.
All right. If you're an old person, you probably get that reference. A lot of legacy boomers out there. I don't know if Zoomers get the Rolling Stone references, Tony.
Yeah, I don't really even like. Well, I won't badmouth any bands. To each their own.
Well, you were about to. You were about to drop some knowledge, and now the viewers will be left out. So
That's okay.
Tony, in front of us is a mono black Painter Servant combo deck. When you look at Legacy, typically Painter Servant usually have two flavors. You have red for Pyroblast, or you have blue for Hydroblast. The Hydroblast variant's not that common. Here we have a black Painter combo. Tony, can we expect to see any sweet, combos like that in this deck? Like, is there a black Hydroblast that we're playing? Anything along those lines?
No, black is for the speed and disruption through duress and Thoughtseize. In fact, this is, in my mind, firstly an ad nauseum deck.
I see. We have two ad nauseums. But what if you reveal one ad nauseum to the other? Do you just instant concede? Is that a rule? Explain to me how this deck works.
Oh, it's no big deal. So originally, this was sent to me as a deck tech from Moto user Control Stacks Delete, and then it went on to be a Dono deck, of which I'm editing. You're super fast with your content creation, so yours is probably going to come out before mine. But this deck is sweet, and it's wildly different here than from what that user and I had spoken about and kind of tested with and whatnot. This is probably about, I don't know, 10 leagues or so through testing, grinding, chatting, that sort of thing, all that good stuff to create and fine tune and whatnot. Certainly not in its completion, but we're getting there. And what for a long time I was making these what I called ad nauseum turbo ad nause decks where I was removing Cabal like from traditional ad nauseum tendrils, right? Removing, I know we're getting a little off track, but I promise it will come around. Removing Cabal rituals and Past in Flames and not having to lean on the graveyard, but instead playing things like Grim Monolith and being able to play this artifact package that you tend to see in most of the Storm brews that I play because it's really fast. And what I've learned from even the Epic Gamble is that if you wind up in a mono color, you can lean on soul lands as well, right? So, and at one point I was testing mono black with this ad nauseum turbo ad nause deck that I was creating, and the problem that I always ran into with mono black was that there just wasn't enough action, right? Sure, you have Wishclaw, sure you have Infernal Tutor, you're playing ad nause, but you don't have enough. You need you'd have to play blue for filler, and it just wasn't quite jiving quite well until this individual sent me a painter list, and it all of a sudden clicked because that is the action that can just slot right into this deck, and it gives us a few things. We can attack from a few different angles, right? We have, of course, we're an ad nauseum deck, and we can kill tendrils. We can make saga tokens, and then, of course, we just have the painter grindstone combo. So if we have one piece of the combo and a tutor, we can get the other piece. I think that's pretty self-explanatory here. And it's really fast because we can lean on soul lands. It's pretty consistent because there's a lot of redundancy involved, and it can sidestep a lot of hate by just simply putting grindstone and painter into play.
Tony, some of our viewers might not be as familiar with this pretty old Legacy combo, so we're going to quickly explain it to them. So Painter Servant, when it enters the battlefield, you choose a color. All cards in all zones become that color. And then with Grindstone, it's a 1-mana artifact that activates for 3. Target player mills 2 cards, and if they share a color, repeat this process. Well, with Painter Servant, it even changes the card color within the library, so it means that Grindstone will just immediately deck the opponent. That is the combo that Tony's referring to here.
Correct. And it is not, it's worth mentioning, not a non-bow with Leyline of the Void. The card does not have to go into the graveyard for this Painter Grindstone combo to work.
I did know that. A lot of people assume that Rest in Peace also stops it, and that is not true.
Right. I actually didn't think of it, or I didn't consider that, and I had Leyline in play at one point, and I was like, "Oh no, is this gonna?" But we were good. Don't worry, it's all good.
I see a spicy brainstone in this list, Tony. I have to imagine that's an Urza Saga target. Can you mind elaborating a little bit more on that one because it is a unique choice?
Yes, and it may seem cute, and it is. I mean, look at it. It's adorable, but really, it does function an important role in this deck. I did find myself often enough with a saga and just needing action. If Brainstone is not in the deck, and Grindstone is not something that's going to help you in a spot where maybe you don't have Painter or any other tutor or any other action, and you just need your hand is full of mana, whatever it may be. The scenario happened often enough where I really wanted to have a action piece in that slot, and Brainstone, uh, just in and of itself, is not terrible whatsoever. It's a Brainstorm, and Brainstorm is pretty strong, right?
Yeah, it's a decent card. 2 mana to activate feels a little bit steep. I feel like if this card was one colorless and one colorless to activate, this would have been a
Oh
legacy
man.
staple. But instead,
Oh
it's
yeah.
a fringe play card. It was so close, so
It
close.
would be in the Epic Gamble for sure. I had that. I feel like that every time I look at this card.
Yeah. So Tony, I feel like a lot of this main deck is pretty self-explanatory. How did you land on 2 Urza Sagas in the main and one in the board?
So the two in the main is pretty deliberate, and I'm fairly settled on. Of course, when you tune, you sometimes something is bad initially, and then with other changes in the deck, it becomes good. It could change for that reason, but at least right now, uh, I've tested 3 and 4, and they just felt like too much. It's a card that, like for instance, I would love to play it in the Epic Gamble, right? But it is just too slow. It's really nice to have an uncounterable LED, but that's 3 turns from then. And the Epic Gamble is really a Belcher deck. And as fast as this deck absolutely can be, it's also very much prepared to go the long haul. And in my experience, discard tends to throw the opponent kind of off kilter in the early game and lends itself to these a bit more grindy scenarios. It's similar to what Ad Nauseam Tendrils does. They cantrip, they discard, and then they strike. And Saga is just on curve for that. Can very easily and frequently play this on turn one with this deck, threatening the tokens. You can go for the tokens, but you also just have at your disposal on the turn that you typically do need it against highly interactive decks. Both an LED, your action piece, whether it be Grindstone or Brainstone if you need that boost. But it's a really solid card. But I felt the deck got a bit clogged if you're running into two of them. Obviously, for certain matchups, that's exactly what you want, which is why I do have an additional one in the side. It's very easy to throw. I could even see running 4 in the 75, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I do feel like we need to talk about the sideboard a little bit. What the is this, Tony? 4 Mindbreak Trap? I've been biting my tongue this entire time. You came on the channel and you brought 4 Mindbreak Trap with you? I am boiling on the inside, Tony. Boiling.
Yeah, I still don't know what it does. I heard it's good. I needed some spots to fill, so you might have to help me out as far as like when, where, how,
Oh,
maybe
I
even
wouldn't
read
know.
it out loud. I don't know.
So
We
we
won't
have we
be.
have 4 of this garbage card in the sideboard, and then we have 4 Leyline of the Void, and include that I think makes a lot of sense. You could also argue that like maybe, just maybe, there should be like a helm somewhere in the 75 to also deck the opponent because it allows you to beat Needle or like Veil of Summer. It's just a thought. Good tutor target as well.
I have tested it a little bit. It felt a little bit clunky. I probably ran about 2 leagues with it, but I do plan to do some more testing with it.
We see
But
Feed the Swarm and sorry, go ahead.
I just feel like it's appropriate to address why Mindbreak Trap. I know it's kind of feels like a meme, but the question should be asked, right? Like why don't we see this in other Storm decks, and why is it in this Storm deck? And the answer is pretty straightforward. I mean, if you're looking at Burning Wish Storm decks, they just don't have the space, right? And for the most part, they're fast enough where they're not necessarily Like, uh, I mean, if you're on the draw, then obviously no matter how fast you are, Mind Break Trap could be nice. But for the most part, if you're a quote unquote Belcher deck like the Epic Gamble, or if you just have Burning Wish, your sideboard is so tight that you just don't have room for it, right? And then say Ad Nauseam Tendrils, they are dedicated enough to the Storm plan where they really need to dedicate a lot of spots to removal. Although they do have some space to work with, but I don't think Mind Break Trap is necessarily appropriate. Whereas here, we just have the space to work with because we don't have to lean super hard on removal because we're not entirely dependent upon the Storm plan. We have, as we discussed before, the Saga tokens and we have the Grindstone combo. So Artifacts is probably the glaring, we are unable to remove Artifacts, but for the most part, we don't really care about them. Chalice can get us sometimes, but again, Saga into Ancient Tomb gets us out of it sometimes. We're just playing Painter Servant for 2, and then Saga can get us the Grindstone, right? So we do have some removal. However, we can move right into that. The Fatal Push and the Feed the Swarm, right? Fatal Push is they both deal with Collect Roof, right?
But this one
It
deals with Deafening Silence.
Yep, as well, and as well as or no, that's not. I'm so used to Leyline being relevant, but Leyline of Sanctity for sure can be an issue, and Feed the Swarm does deal with that. But despite having a ton of artifacts, right, and something like a Collector Roof can give us big problems. We do have we have 4 Swamps, we have 2 Urborgs, we have ways to make black mana outside of our artifacts, certainly more than what I'm used to with something like the Epic Gamble. And Fatal Push can just slip in very easily and get us out of that scenario. So I think those cards make sense, and I think it makes sense to not have an overabundance of removal and allow us to play cards like Mind Break Trap and like Leyline of the Void, because we're not quite as fast, and if you have the space to work with, it's a very potent card to not just get blown out without even being able to play Magic, right?
Definitely. Tony, we are going a little bit long with this deck tech, so I'm going to stop it here. I'd love to ask you a little bit more, maybe about Peer into the Abyss and the sideboard in match number 1, but for now, where can people find you and your terrific combo content?
You can search TonyScapone on Google. You'll find all my content primarily through YouTube, Twitch. You can find me on Twitter, and you can find me on Discord.
Sounds great. Tony is an active member of the Storm Discord, which has its link in the description down below. Make sure to join, ask questions, specifically tag Tony with your questions. Definitely don't tag me. I would appreciate that. And I'm joking. We'll head over to match number 1. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, early access to videos, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, such as theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Round number 1. I have the TonyScapone with me. Tony, now that we're in the first match, why don't you explain Peer into the Abyss while we go over our mulligans? We're on the play. We have Urborg Dark Ritual Duress into, Wishclaw Talisman. I don't think that's good enough. What do you think?
It's not terrible. Like it can Ritual Duress, and if we need to play another Duress, we can, and then play Brainstone so we're not wasting our mana. But if one Duress is just fine, we can then follow it up with Wishclaw. We can play the Brain. So next turn we'd be looking at like an Urborg, an Active Opal, and a Wishclaw with a Brainstone in play, with them a little bit off kilter. I mean,
I think it's just too slow.
Most of this deck is mana, though. Like, we're going to have a 2-draw on board, a little bit of mana. I would personally keep this. I'm not
Okay.
thrilled about it.
While the opponent decides, Tony, explain what the Peer into the Abyss in the sideboard is for.
So Peer here in this configuration, because I've been toying around with whether I play one Adnaz, one Peer in the board, one Adnaz with the Peer actually just in the main alongside it. Right now, I'm playing two Adnaz. I've been testing that a little bit. It's also very good. But primarily, you don't want Ad Nauseam. Ad Nauseam is not a plan when you have a bunch of traps and ley lines in your deck, but you do want like that top end card that you're tutoring for. So you essentially replace Ad Nauseam with Peer sometimes.
Oh, they're on.
Oh,
Oops. Oops.
oops! I
We
let you
did it
resolve it.
again. What, Tony? You were right. It was clearly a keep.
Dress too strong. Oh, look at that! We got traps and ley lines.
I've never been happy before in my life to see a Mindbreak trap, but here we are. All right, so we have 8 cards coming in. The Ad Nauseam naturally needs to leave. We'll bring in the Peer into the Abyss. I could be
Yep.
wrong. I don't think that this is a Saga matchup.
Honestly, I think the opposite, and only because we bring in so much, like these 4 ley lines and 4 traps, right? By the time we're done boarding, our deck is so clunky that Saga becomes like kind of the main thing to do, where you can have action in just one card.
Okay.
Because you wind up forced to keep like these really awkward hands because you have trap, or keep awkward hands because you have ley line, or both of them, or you've mulled to it, and there's just so much in an Urza Saga. So I would bring that saga in. We can take some of the. We don't necessarily need this like clunky fast mana, right? So I think we can go down on Opal, Chrome Mox, probably a couple Monolith.
I think we get rid of the
The
Claw Ritual.
Yes. Actually, this is one of the first times I've been testing this card. So
So I know that we have Brainstorm in the deck for action, but I think I'd almost rather have some of this faster
yeah,
mana than the Brainstone.
yep.
Would you prefer
I
a
am.
Chromox or an Opal?
What we have two. I put an Opal in there.
All right, so that's 60. Are there any other changes you would like to see here?
I would actually go down a Wishclaw Talisman. We are pretty chock full of action at this point, and just bring in some more mana. Yep.
All right, so let's submit this and crush game number 2 versus Oops. For all our opponent knows, they might think we're on Pox. We want Herb Dark Ritual Duress. Obviously, I'm keeping this.
Yep.
Opponent going to 5. And now a mulligan to 4. To 3.
Yikes.
Are they playing the Epic Gamble, Tony? Wow. Flawless victory. You'll love to see it. All right, we are 1-0. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we're on the draw against Ziggy Stardust, who's mostly known for playing show and tell variants and the occasional control deck. Tony, I didn't even bother asking you. I am so sorry. In my head, I was just like, yeah, obviously I want this double. What the F?
He plays the Chalice. He's probably playing that mono white deck. That's my best guess. The
Wow,
new hotness.
this is just offensive.
Well, we do have a 2-drop and 2 zeros, so we can put significant mana into play.
Whoops. I thought I clicked 1. Apparently I hit 2.
Yeah, just discard Duress.
I am sorry, fans. I thought I hit 1. So when Daybreak Games took over Magic Online, it resets everyone's stops. And I've personally changed mine in the past from 2 to 5, so that way what you just saw didn't happen. That is the first time it's happened to me since. Geez. I'm sorry, Tony.
It's okay. I think it's unlikely to matter because we're still going to put our mana into play, and we wouldn't have been able to do anything anyways.
I guess the downside is we gave them like I guess we wouldn't have drawn the action spell anyway. But the situation we're in is if we finally draw a discard spell or a action spell and they have force against 8 cast.
Yeah.
It's a lot of mana. They sacrifice the bauble and look at our Thoughtseize. Urza Saga goes up to 2. They play another Saga.
Really hoping to hit a tutor now.
They create a construct. This gives them Metalcraft for the Opal. Alright, they Legend Rule Mox Opal, 3 mana. Is this a Psymaster Thopterist? It is. Draw for turn. Tony, I've ruined this game. I didn't ask you if I should have kept. And then I clicked through our turn. This game is single-handedly my fault. I didn't win the die roll. That was another thing.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to keep discard plus mana, no action on the play. But I may have kept. We still have a shot if they have no force.
Thought Monitor. I have to imagine that 8 cast is a pretty difficult matchup for this deck, Tony. Not only do they have Chalice of the Void, they have 8 forces, and your sideboard, as you mentioned in the deck tech, is not able to answer artifacts. How have you seen this matchup from your games that you've played?
It's not terrible. Oftentimes discard can take their Chalice. Obviously it's bad when you lose the die roll and your opponent starts on Chalice on one, but we can kind of fight on a similar axis as them with Urza Saga. Sometimes we're actually just a better Saga deck because we can play it turn one and poop out constructs on average earlier than them, but we do have to close the game pretty quickly with that sort of strategy. All right, we got to go to the next game. And then sometimes we can just sidestep with Painter. They tend to not really have creature removal. They're certainly going to side it out. So we have that going for us. It's been about 50-50 in my experience so far. But this is not a good start, obviously.
What is the board plan for this matchup?
I don't think it changes all that much, especially on the play. I would bring in Urza Saga. When I was running one ad nause, I was bringing the peer in, but it's kind of dicey with 2 ad nause unless we just want to swap one of the ad nause. Probably not, though. I think this is fine. We just got to take something out, maybe a Cabal Ritual. That's fine.
All right. You heard it from the master. Board out Cabal Ritual always. Card is unplayable.
It's tough, actually, when you're running 2, because you want to be able to search one with an Infernal Tutor, but it's not like a huge thing.
Tony, I am not the expert. You saw clearly at Rune Gain number 1, but I would not keep this.
No. We can grind them.
Yeah, we can. I would keep this, though.
Yeah.
You can bottom the swamp, lead off on Dark Ritual, Duress, Cabal Ritual, Ancient Tomb ad nauseum.
Yep.
I've done math before.
Have you?
No, that was a lie. I don't appreciate you calling me out while we're on air, but here we are.
No, I'm impressed for a first time that was done.
Thank you.
First time mather.
Professional term. We will keep. Swamp on the bottom. Lotus Petal. Tony, do you know what the real thing that I don't like about this deck?
What?
There's no Galvanic Relay.
There is not.
They should make a black Galvanic Relay.
Yep.
of the Void.
I was basically, somebody asked me what card would put this deck over the top for me, and that was basically my answer. If they made a black relay. They did, it's just banned.
I have to remember that there's another ad nauseum in the deck.
There is.
There's the Tenders. We're at 7. Only one initial mana source right now.
Yep.
So now we could die to an ad nauseum. Should we stop or should we flip?
We have. What's their hand again?
Urkel's Recall, a couple opals, Kappa Cannoneer, Island Saga.
So they could feasibly draw Force, but we can next turn discard them, utilize an Ancient Tomb, and still be at 1 life. And we have this Tendrils in hand, which is awkward.
That is true.
Hmm.
I want to flip, but I like living life dangerously. The conservative
flip.
play is to stop here.
Yeah, it's probably the smarter play, but I want to flip. Flip, Philadelphia.
All right. And there we
Hey.
go.
So that should be enough.
It's not actually not enough.
Yeah,
Because you Dark Ritual. Maybe I'm wrong. So you Dark Ritual. You can play
double black after.
Diamond.
Yeah,
it's not
no,
actually.
we'll be good. We'll be good. We can Ritual is 3, Monolith is 5, LED is 8, right? We're playing Servant, we go to 6.
Oh, and then we go get Grindstone.
Infernal Tutor, we go to 4 exactly to get Grindstone and activate.
Forgot about the Grindstone win. Chrome Mox has resolved. We'll imprint the Thoughtseize. Dark Ritual. For Monolith. Have this for mana. For Monolith. The Lion's Eye Diamond. And Tony, just because you mentioned it earlier, I think that we should paint it black.
Paint it black, baby!
Alright, hold control. Infernal Tutor. Oh, look at that black Lion's Eye Diamond. That is hot.
Real hot. Those monoliths?
I mean, not as cool as the Lion's Eye Diamond.
Nope.
Grab the black Grindstone. That's another reason to cut Brainstorm from the deck. You don't want 2 cards with stone in your deck when you've already like made everything the black border, because like what if you misclick one? That's just like life equity you've lost. Clearly we need to cut the Brainstorm.
Agree to disagree.
On the draw, on the draw, are we making any changes?
Duress and Thoughtseize are certainly worse. Trap is interesting, but probably not worth it. Probably just like cut a Duress and put a Cabal Ritual back in.
Okay, are you sure we don't want to bring in anything else? I don't mind trying the Mind Break idea, but it does make this ad nauseum a little bit worse.
It just like, well, you know what? It can probably hit a Chalice, right? Because they'll want a Chalice on 0, but they got to play their 0s first.
Yeah. So I think if we do that, we should board out the ad nauseum. Like, if anything, I think that you would board in the Piers. You would board in these. You would board out Duress. And then the Nauses. Clean 60.
Yeah, makes sense. Let's do it.
Okay.
I've done something similar. I think I was doing the same thing against like this new white stomp, or basically just Stompy in general on the draw. Just trying to get there with
Mulligan.
Nope. Get trapped.
Is this a keep or is it just too slow? And personally, I would bottom the opal. I don't know what you think.
I would keep. Yeah, that makes sense. These soul lands are basically rituals at the speed that we're planning on going.
Ancient Tomb.
Of course, they start with you knew it.
No one likes Chalice players. If you're a Chalice player, I'd like you to know that no one likes you.
Hey, that's a good one.
Urza Saga.
We're probably going to get them with this trap at some point. They do like to cast spells.
Seat of the Synod. Not a fan.
Dude. No. Just one spell at a time.
So are we deploying the Wishclaw here, or are we all in on Saga?
I would make tokens. Yep.
My fear here is that tokens are not going to be good enough against the side deck, but I've been wrong before.
Oh, they may very well not be, but I think we're still going to get whatever equity we're going to get out of Wishclaw. I don't think we're going to lose it by not deploying it on that turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we don't plan on using it till around the same curve as using these tokens anyways, so whatever.
Is it Chalice too?
Or they'll just do
Oh,
that.
feels bad, man.
This is not, I don't think I've ever had this play pattern cast upon me by Acast. Just one spell at a time.
So maybe we'll get lucky and we'll draw tendrils and somehow just like mini tendrils them out.
Maybe.
Okay. Make a construct. Draw for a turn. We'll make another construct down to 15. The question is, what do we get with the saga? Like, I was thinking about Grindstone, but we can't actually play Painter anymore.
Honestly, it's probably a Brainstone. But let's take a look. It might be mana. Yeah, I think it's just Brainstone. All we're looking for is another saga. So I think we want our highest chance of just... Oh, we can't. I was thinking we had Ancient Tomb. But still, anyways. Next turn, hopefully we can hit another saga.
Get in there.
And if nothing else, it's our best chance at finding some zeros to make these tokens bigger.
Thought cast. You've got it. 5 in hand.
Are you gonna get trapped?
Storm is 2. I don't think we're supposed to trap that.
Needle gets countered. Get Thopter tokens.
We will trap that, though.
Yeah.
They have 2 in hand.
He's over there like, gasp.
Leaving the Psy back. It's interesting. If they don't attack, they are not in a position where they can gang block and kill a construct unless we somehow get an artifact into play. Like a 0 off the top would be good here.
Yeah, we want to find multiple with this Brainstone. I think we have to try and spike it.
Draw 3.
Nope. I would scoop it up. We've lost.
Unfortunate. We are now 1-1. Womp womp.
Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game.
Round 3, we're on the draw against Jeff Skills. Tony, we are so close to a turn 1 Painter Grindstone hand. We have a Lotus Petal, we have a Mox Opal. This could be pretty dangerous. It's also pretty risky. Should we keep on the draw? Should we mulligan? What's the play?
Yeah, we are super close. Any mana source gives it to us. It's definitely risky.
My gut
That's
says to
probably
keep, but I've been wrong before.
for the power level. Yeah, I mean, most of the deck is mana. Let's go.
All right. If we lose, it's Tony's fault this time. Clearly Tony's fault. But if we win, it was my genius for suggesting it.
Of course.
Preordain. Not an ideal hand versus blue, I'll say that. 2 to the bottom with Preordain. Take a draw. Ding dong.
Nice.
Play out this Lotus Petal. I think we want to play out the Grim Monolith to help play around Daze a little bit. Do I Dark Ritual first here to keep the Monolith untapped?
I would. 3, 6, 7.
Paint it black.
Okay.
Grindstone. Storm 6.
Okay. Oh, they're gonna have Emrakul in their deck. Wait.
I mean, we don't know that they're sneak and show. I think we should just do it. Like, they could be, but...
Yeah. Yeah, go for it.
You would really not Grindstone them here?
I just would have put some thought into what we could do with Wishclaw. So we have 7 mana. That's one shy of Adnaz. We could have maybe played it a little bit safer, but let's go.
Ah. So they are in fact Sneak and Show. Well, I guess they're Omni Show.
Yeah.
Alright. That's a bummer.
Well, if they fumble, we are working towards Adnaz, and pretty clearly they didn't have interaction outside of maybe days.
They also might have just let it resolve knowing that we weren't going to win.
No, that's true.
I would just like to say, what kind of jerk plays Sneak and Show or Omni Show and doesn't let us deck them? We do have a 19 turn clock in play. If there was like a main deck, what is it called? Like a Nile Spellbomb or something, you could deck them and then remove their graveyard.
Yep.
Alright, get in there for one. Land number 3. In this matchup, Tony, do you board out the Painter Servant combo in the post-board games?
Yeah. What reason? We don't have any reason to keep it in.
I mean, I would agree, but maybe you're a crazy person that boards in Leyline. I don't know what your plans are. And there's
That
the
could be
demon.
true. I'd have to see it. I've been doing most of my boarding kind of on the fly since the deck is very new. That might be the plan.
They'll draw 7 in our upkeep. I mean, the play here could just be to grind them again and hope that they drew their Emrakul.
Yeah. Did they only have one?
They only triggered 1.
Well, if they're, smart, they'll discard it.
They can't. They did it in our upkeep for no reason.
Whoa. That's awesome.
No. No punish for the opponent playing poorly. Ah, damn. Alright. Is it okay if I concede? I think we're dead here.
Oh yeah.
That's a
I
shame.
wonder if we had a line. I wonder if we had a line with this tendrils. They were at 5.
After
wish
drawing
pile.
14, I think the odds there were way higher that they drew the Emrakul than winning with the tendrils.
Yeah, it's possible.
Alright, so I am not interested in this painter or the... I can't click right now. The painter or the grindstones. So that frees up 4 slots. I'm not... I don't think any of our sideboard's particularly good in this matchup.
No.
I mean, you could try Mindbreak for the situations where they resolve Show and Tell. They Cunning Wish, and then they get their payoff, like a summoner's whatever, summoning whatever. It gets 2 creatures. So then you can Mindbreak Trap that. Is that better or worse than having the Painter Grindstone combo in your deck?
Well, if we did 1 painter, 1 grindstone, and played the ley lines, but there's nothing that we necessarily want to. So yeah, I guess I'd probably just play Saga and Trap be useful. I suppose it can. Yeah, like Omniscience lines, right? They go.
Okay, so here's a thought. They have Veil of Summer, so maybe we actually do want the ley lines, so that way we can beat a Veil.
Why does that beat Veil?
This combo beats Veil of Summer, where right now we have to use constructs to beat a Veil of Summer.
So you're saying we should be playing the ley lines and the painter?
Yeah, I think so. I came around on it.
Can't you just paint it white?
But you need the ley lines still.
Yeah.
We have 5 cards to cut, 40 seconds.
I would just take the painter crap out and the ley lines out and play Mindbreak Trap so that we can deal with Omniscience.
Okay. 30 seconds on clock. 3 Mindbreak?
Sure.
Okay. I'm just a little bit worried about Veil of Summer here, but maybe we can fight through it. On the play. No keep.
No. Ew.
Not looking good for the home team. So you'd have to bottom dress Mindbreak.
just play out Wishclaw. I feel like we need to duress them.
So we could put back the Chrome Mox, or we can put back
Yeah.
the land. It could be land Mindbreak.
I think it has to be.
Okay.
We can't just get a swamp Thoughtseize hand. Come on.
Absolutely not. They're F6'd. Play Opal. Chrome Mox. No. Tap for a black. Duress. Dress down. I think we just take the Omniscience.
Yeah. We're not too far off from just winding up casting Ad Nauseam. I guess we kept Ad Nauseam in a deck with the traps, huh? We didn't think of that.
We did.
It's okay. I think I've done it. I think this is how I configured the deck last time.
That was a good draw. Wishclaw Talisman, where you single mana away from an Ad Nauseam next turn with, I guess it's triple Mindbreak Trap in our deck. But we do have a second Ad Nauseam as well.
With a land drop, it's still likely to win us the game, even if it doesn't win the game on the spot.
Take a draw. Womp womp.
It's a good one.
They can cycle a dress down. They chose not to.
Hopefully their unknown cards are actually just Show and Tell, Omniscience, and then they Cunning Wish, and we trap them, and then we draw the mana and win. Calling it. Nope.
Okay. Take a draw. Let's think through this. So we can Infernal Tutor, sacrifice the Lion's Eye Diamond, go get another diamond. And then that does it.
Yep.
Alright, sacrifice for triple black. Infernal Tutor.
Guess the real question is, are you going to tap that Chrome Mox?
I tried to, but opponent currently has priority.
Ugh.
I guess we're going off into a known Cunning Wish.
You really think they're going to hold a force in their deck? Do players do that?
They probably have like a Mindbreak in their board. I have to imagine they have some sort of free interaction in their sideboard. Turn 3. What? Are you ready to reveal Mindbreaks? Oh, jeez. I mean, we flip, right?
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
The world's most perfect Ad Nauseam.
Yikes. That's actually unbelievable.
So are we supposed to... I'm just going to ask you a question. So we have Ancient Tomb into Monolith, Lotus Petal. Are we supposed to flip, or do you just pass knowing that like they can get Show and Tell with the Wishclaw?
I mean, they can get Show and Tell, but unless they have Omniscience, doesn't do much, or a monster, or if they have Show and Tell but no monster, they can get the monster. But yeah, I wouldn't flip. Only hoping for zeros.
Do you play out the Monolith here? Or do you just leave it untap?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess if we get to survive a turn, we can untap with double Mindbreak plus Saga. I guess they have Dress Down, though. Oh, they have Endurance! We left ourselves dead to Endurance. I guess we were dead no matter what.
That's the first spell they've cast.
Wow. That was a... one of the worst Ad Nauseams I've... It's definitely like top 10 worst Ad Nauseams I've ever had.
I mean, I know we have 3 traps and an Ad Naus in our deck, but to hit 3 out of 4 on like the top 10, that was...
Well, the other trap was in our graveyard, so I don't know if it could have been worse. I guess we could have hit the Tendrils. If we hit the Tendrils in here, it could have been worse.
Yikes.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
1 and 2.
that's our own fault.
Yeah.
If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us.
Match number 4, Tony. I don't know if this is a keep or not. We have Chrome Mox Imprint Cabal Ritual on turn 1 into Monolith turn 2, but we don't have black for Ad Nauseam. And even if we did, we have double Ancient Tomb. It's a little odd.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward, but I could go either way. You can do what you would do.
I would
I think you want a
mulligan.
mulligan. That's fine. Oh, this is gross.
Never lucky. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think we're supposed to go to 4.
No. Keep it bottom, Cabal, Ritual, and a Duress. I mean, there's a lot of draws that actually make this hand nuts.
Volcanic Island. Perfect.
I wouldn't even play
Oh.
the land.
Sorry, I already clicked. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have played it. It just opens us up to Wasteland for no reason.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm the worst. Oh my.
Oh!
Punished. Bad luck plus me being terrible. I'm gonna pass.
It's alright. We're not going to cast spells, and when we don't cast spells, Darcy tends to stay a 1-1.
Channeler getting in. We're at 18. Founding the third path, huh?
Jeez.
That's an interesting one. Target player mills 4. They target themselves. If they would have played it pre-combat, their channeler could have been delirious.
Yeah, that's strange.
Come on,
that they
deck.
didn't.
Lotus Petal. I'll take it. Duress. Oh
Nice.
my. Dark Ritual.
It's actually very good we have this opal, too.
Dark Ritual. Ad nauseum. Alright, Tony, start listing off our worst flips, please.
Adnaz, Tendrils.
Alright, we're at 10. I don't even think we should show them.
Well, there's a... What? Tendrils?
Like the rest of our deck if we can help it. Like, why show them Tendrils?
Yeah, if we have enough. Do we have enough?
So we can go Petal, Chromox, and print the tutor. Play Double Grim Monolith, which is 4. Opal is 5/6, which is enough to painter combo.
Yep.
Okay. Grim Monolith. Grim Monolith. Play the Opal. Tap, tap. Painter's Servant. We'll choose red. Look at that. Beautiful. Play a Grindstone. Whew, we got there.
Got him.
Well, what's the plan versus Delver?
Beating a force on a mold of 5 after giving away an ancient tomb too, so it's kind of like a mold of 4. What's the plan against Delver? I still like Adnaz. Pier is just too slow. Saga's fine. I'm not bringing in any discard. We're pretty much
Reboarded.
Yeah.
You could argue fatal pushes, but I'm not sure if that's correct.
No, I never like doing that against Delver. I've had a long history of testing like bolts and stuff through the Epic Gamble to figure out how to beat Delver.
I actually like this. I don't know about you.
Yeah, me too.
I can't.
Yeah, what happens when you play removal against Delver is you're just not as efficient at removing their threats as they are at deploying them and killing you. On top of that, our removal doesn't touch Murktide or deals us 7 damage if we do kill it.
I would like to imprint a Duress and then cast the other to avoid days.
Yeah. Sounds reasonable.
Duress.
Take Meltdown.
They could always just immediately flashback the Meltdown. And then they get
but
value off the founding.
We can just cast our other Duress. Take them both.
You're wise. Right? You're so wise.
I mean, we could hold the Duress, but I don't think we should. I think this hand might wind up hamstrung on mana and won't have that one additional to like Duress them. Plus, we do have 8 discard spells. Well, 5 left. So we'll probably just draw another one.
They play Wasteland. I have to imagine they're playing their Shredder here. And they do. 1 unknown in hand. That was decent. I think we play the Monolith?
Yeah.
You want to hide the painter from Bolt, right?
Yeah. They might get rid of the Bolt. Oh, we shouldn't have played that.
Yeah, I didn't. think.
I didn't either.
Common theme in this video. They discard a wasteland, so they now have 2 unknowns. I believe we should pass. You could go Painter Servant, Infernal Tutor, but you open yourself up to Daze that way and Lightning Bolt.
Mm.
Scalding Turn, so they have 3 unknowns. That's a channeler. Badlands.
Whoa.
We are learning so much. Discards Daze. They have 1 in hand. The worst card they could have is a Daze. So if we draw a Dark Ritual or a Lion's Eye Diamond, this is a win. Draw. That doesn't do it.
Well,
actually, it does do it.
Might have a painter win, right? 3, 6, 7. No, we need 8. 3, 4, 5.
Oh, we're 1 short.
3. We're 1 shy.
I think we just pass. Because we don't want to trigger the Shredder.
Yeah, you're right. Hopefully they have no castables.
So this is 8 coming in. We'll go to 10.
Just a bunch of white cards. Ugh.
So gross. All right. I mean, this should do it. Unfortunately, we do have to trigger their Shredder in order to win. I don't know why I chose white, because as a designer, I actually hate how old frame white cards look.
Yeah.
Infernal Tutor. They have 2 in hand. And it's force blue card. I guess we're technically not dead. We could top deck a Grindstone.
Yep. 6, 2. Also, Infernal Tutor.
Yeah.
Wish Claw is shy. We can't untap a Monolith.
We'll leave back Painter Servant in case they play Goblin Guide. Alright. Fine. Game 3. Submit. On the play. What do you think, Tony? Do we peanut butter and jam?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or we'll have 7 next turn. And I mean, we definitely keep. Let's see what they do.
They
Maybe
kept.
snap. Well, I was gonna say snap keep, but we took a while, so they had time.
We could add Nauseam in their upkeep to avoid force negation as well.
And it's probably the smartest if we're going to add Nas. Honestly, I think.
So it's worth noting, if we wait, Witchclaw doesn't actually help us next turn because we can't activate it.
No, but we have a draw step, and I would assume we'd be kind of just taking it slow depending on what we drew. Not necessarily like powering through next turn, but I think going for it in their upkeep is probably correct.
Alright, Dark Ritual.
We're also just not like dead in the water if they do stop this.
Cabal Ritual. And another.
There we go, baby. Come on.
Hey!
Oh!
Let's not idle Lightning Bolt now. Okay, looking decent. Lion's Eye Diamond, welcome to the party. A Lotus Petal. Monolith, Dark Ritual. I'm going to stop here because if we flip the ad nauseum, we lose. We don't want to lose the game. So instead, we will pass and then untap.
Instead, we'll win the game
and crush our opponent. Volcanic Island, Dragon's Rage Channeler with 6 cards in hand. Draw. Play City of Traders. Lotus Petal.
Can Bryant find a win?
Absolutely not. Have you seen me play Magic before? All right.
Oh, you found it. You found it.
I don't know if I would have been able to do it on my own. I'm glad that the opponent helped us out here. But Tony, we're 2-2. We're 1 match away from getting my play points back. Let's see if we can do it. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. Match number 5. Tony, we're facing a known Delver expert. How do you feel about this hand?
It's mixed feelings. You know, we have one of the ways that we lose against Delver is by them attacking our mana and, through Daze and Wasteland. We're set up with double basics. We have some interaction. We have fast mana even, so if we do rip some action off the top, we have a very high chance of just like discarding and winning. It is a little bit loose because there are 4 lands, but I think that's fine against Delver, honestly. I'm not like thrilled, but I think it's fine.
Okay, you heard it here first. If we lose, the responsibility goes 125% to Tony Scapone.
I'll take it.
That's a turn 1 Delver. Okay.
Hey.
I think we just passed. No need to play into Daze here.
Yep.
What's interesting is our opponent is known for being someone who doesn't like to tap out versus combo, and we saw them tap out on the first turn for Delver Secrets, which is sort of interesting to me because that's not something that they would have done a couple years ago against me.
Or maybe they heard you say that on a podcast.
Maybe.
And they're next leveling you.
Gotta be it. Well, we drew one of the ad nauseums,
which is fine.
So if we hold the duress for a turn, let's say we hold it. Next turn we play City of Traders. I think that's actually the right move. Because then they can't brainstorm and hide something.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think, as opposed to what, I don't think we're supposed to go for it, so. Yeah, I think I would have waited one more turn as well, though.
Expressive iteration.
I like that. No land, no land, no land.
Brazen Borrower. Hey, it's not a blue land.
Yeah.
Take a draw. Ooh, baby. City of Traders.
Probably start off with Cabal Ritual, maybe?
I mean...
yeah, it doesn't really matter.
All they have is a Daze? The disrespect.
So does that mean we're going to add notes from hand, right? And just imprint?
So technically, we could be removing an ad nauseum from the deck.
Yeah, is that better as far as mana goes? So we'll have what? 5, 8, 7. Well, 2 post if we go Infernal Tutor. So we have 1 less mana, which is fine. Yeah, I'd rather take the Adnos out of the deck, especially being at 14.
All right, Imprint, Diamond, hold priority on this Infernal Tutor, sacrifice the Diamond for black. And it's actually 1...
I miscounted. Yeah, which is fine.
This is where a Delver player is like, they're on 2 ad nauseums? Okay, so we reveal the Painter. We need some more mana here. An Opal's decent. We'd like some mana. We're at 6. Alright, so Dark Ritual doesn't do it. We have to flip. Petal.
That's good.
We cannot die, so we might as well flip again. We have a Lightning Bolt in hand, but I believe that this gets the job done.
I think we're 1 shy. Right? We have 1, 3, 4, 5 mana. We need 6.
So if we flip again and it's a damage spell, we'd have to remove the Lightning Bolt. So it'd have to be like a Dark Ritual or a Cabal Ritual.
What do you mean? Why?
Because they could Lightning Bolt us in their upkeep.
Oh, you're right. We could...
I think we're supposed to flip again.
Yeah.
Ding.
It's another battle. Yeah. That does it.
The Epic Painter, brought to you by TonyScapone. Tony and I were chatting in between rounds, and I discovered that Tony is not at 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if everyone could do me a personal favor and go and subscribe to Tony Scapone's YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate that. We got to get Tony up to 1,000, make it so that Tony's using his time wisely. It would go a long way.
I'm halfway there.
Got to get that guy monetized. All right, we will not board. He's only 500 people away. That's nothing. Nothing. Everyone go subscribe. The link will be in the description down below.
In fact, there should be, if you're watching this and at the end of it you go, you know what? That was sweet. I would like to see that again. Well, my video should be out soon. And I have actually been just jamming this on Twitch a fair amount, streaming live. Probably streamed about 5 or 6 leagues with it.
I would keep this.
Ooh.
We're a tutor
Yeah.
away. We have a discard spell. Hell yeah.
We got a basic.
All right. Mishra's Bobble. Tony, you just bring out the worst in me. That's got to be it. Pass the turn. Think of the children that are watching this video that have now heard 3 swear words.
I will not.
Volcanic Island into Ponder.
I think we're priced. If we miss on this draw step, I think we're priced into thought seizing. Because
Okay, we
of
have 5. Come on, Painter.
Maddening Hex.
I'm going to play Urborg. I think that I'd rather have the Tomb.
Sure.
Thoughtseize. We just take the Force.
Yeah. Let's not try and get cute by taking days.
Pass the turn. Delver of Secrets. Flips Expressive Iteration.
I think if this weren't oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Chris Cali, then it would have been maybe worth like casting a Dark Ritual
Rich
there
Cali.
to try to bait the days. Did I not say Rich Cali?
You said Chris Cali. It's fine.
Oh,
So we go to 15.
but yeah, I don't think he would fall for that. I think he would just let a Dark Ritual go.
Damn, that was our window to win. Now they
It's worth
can
casting.
into the Meltdown. I guess we could.
I suppose drawing Tendrils is a reasonable desperation. It'd be nice to have Monolith in hand. We have enough mana anyways.
We were dead to Lightning Bolt. I'm gonna pick it up here.
Yeah, we just didn't draw any action. 4 draw steps.
Not a whole lot coming. All right, we'll do better in game 3. Don't worry about it. Click submit. Game 3 on the play with Mono Black Painter.
Ooh.
We can't imprint Brainstone because Chromox is not an artifact. I was like, we can go turn 1 Ancient Doom Painter, Chromox, imprint Brainstone, Thoughtseize. That would have been sweet, but I don't believe we can because Chromox specifically says non-artifact.
Correct.
That would have been so good.
It's not the worst hand, though. I mean, it's a turn 1 ad nause. We know that. I would keep and see what he does. It's not even like we're blowing all of our resources to do it either.
And mulligan to 6. Are we allowed to peanut butter and jam?
Just go for it. It should be in their upkeep, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll pass. Upkeep Dark Ritual, and we are playing around Force of Negation by taking this play. 18. Ad nauseum. Always has the counterbalance. Okay. Jeez.
Okay.
Flooded Strand.
Well, now we have a game going. It's probably going to melt down or... Okay,
Delver. Saga. Yes.
Oh.
Are we supposed to play out the Painter?
I would. If Delver doesn't flip, it's a blocker. They might feel... I wouldn't with it. No.
So, hold on. Are we supposed to Brainstone this turn, looking for a discard spell instead?
I don't think so. I would play Painter off of Saga and Chromox.
Okay.
I don't want to take life. I want to at least try to race him with this Saga, which means not dying to Murktide. They're very low on resources. Saga was such a good draw. Well done, Bryant, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Just in time.
They did not flip. They cast Ponder. Really, if you think about it, the wording on Chromox potentially lost us this game. I am going to write Wizards after this match and let them know how I feel. Ooh.
They found it. Okay.
It wouldn't have happened if we brainstormed last turn. Okay.
I play Wishclaw first.
Yeah.
We get to play this cute little guy.
Should
Yeah,
we
man,
attack to
buddy.
assert dominance? I'm joking. And they dazed. I'm actually really
Aw.
happy about that daze. Because now that's one less daze they have for next turn. So if we draw another mana source, we're potentially game winning.
Yeah, we
Uh,
know we don't have to deal with counterbalance.
it would
Oh,
have
we're
to
not.
lightning bolt. Oh,
Ah,
damn. Tony, I hate to say it, but I believe we've lost this one.
not necessarily.
We're one mana
Okay.
away from an ad nauseum now.
Yeah. Now you can assert that dominance. And we are, what, 1, 2, 5. No, we're one mana shot. Like if we drew discard, we'd be. And then they would just respond with bolts. Never mind.
I don't think they're actually supposed to lightning bolt here, because our other out is ad nauseum, and they know that we have 2 based on game 1.
Yep.
Not looking good for the home team. So between this Delver, Secrets, and the Ancient Tomb, the best case scenario is we cast ad nauseum from 8 life. They play a Bobble. That is a very nice black card. Look at that.
Beautiful.
We go to 10. Mishra's Bobble. They draw off the Bobble. Saga.
Okay. A
Hmm.
little.
We could set up like a double painter line
Yeah. Potentially.
if we can live that long. We know that they have a bolt, so it's not guaranteed. They bolt me. We're at
I think
7.
they have 2 bolts.
We go to 4. We draw Swamp. So we're dead to a bolt no matter what we do here, so I don't think we're supposed to do anything. Pass. If they have a bolt, they have a bolt. We could respond to Lightning Bolt with an ad nauseum.
We could.
Flooded Strand. We're at 1.
Yep.
Oh, that'll do. So Tony, I hate to say it, but we did not do well. We went 2 and 3. My bit of feedback, you don't have to agree with me. I don't like the second ad nauseum. I don't think we actually need 2 in the deck. I feel like this could be another card slot that could potentially help somewhere else. It could be something like a third painter or another tutor effect like a Wishclaw Talisman. I just didn't love having 2 of these.
Yeah, it's my first time testing it. It's just awkward when you draw it and you can't like when your mana is primarily from Lion's Eye Diamonds
Yeah,
or Saga's getting you Lion's Eye Diamonds.
for
Then you
sure.
can't. Same thing if you draw the tendrils. There are natural issues with mono black, and Painter Grindstone does give you some relief from that. But there's still some awkwardness that I'm just I keep shuffling things around and poking, prodding, testing, trying.
Is
So
there
I would
is there
go ahead.
anything you would do to the list after this league?
So Cabal Ritual is also a card that I haven't quite been that's kind of a test, as well as going back down to 2 Painter, 2 Grindstone. I've had lists where it's 4 and 4, 3 and 3. Those numbers all have their pros and cons. For instance, if you go for the 4/4 Painter and Grindstone, a few things happen. The power level increases because you have more hands that just have the combo naturally. But it does skew your black card count. It improves Mox Opal, but makes Chrome Mox a bit more awkward. And Chrome Mox is already kind of maxed out as far as how effective it is, even at 3. So it's a balance, a delicate balance. I couldn't say something like specifically just because I've been trying out so many things. I've had some deadly disputes in there, but they do seem a bit cute most of the time.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question directly because it's definitely in a very much a testing phase and just seeing what what works, how it works, and that sort of thing. This league was tough to look at because I feel like we had a lot of just not fair to us in terms of openers, like 7-card openers. There are clunky things that do occur with this deck, but we had a lot of openers that were just like 5 pieces of action. And there's not even that much, if you were to critique the deck on action and mana, it's actually lacking a little bit in action. So
I feel you
I don't
there.
know.
All right, Tony, once again, if you haven't watched everyone or haven't subscribed already, go subscribe to Tony Scapone's YouTube channel. That link is in the description down below. You can find Tony Scapone everywhere on the internet using the handle Tony Scapone. Is there anything else you would like to say today?
I should say that this league does not represent what my experience has been with the deck, and the things that I have been testing are small enough where, generally speaking, the shell and what it's doing is a powerful thing. So if this is something that you're interested in, just as far as its theory goes, and it does excite you to do things involving both Storm and Painter Grindstone, I can assure you that it is very strong. So rest assured, if you have some of these cards and you want to buy a few things just to make it work, and you want to bring it to your tournament, and you'd like to have reasonable chances of winning, it's a good choice. It's been good to me. So other than that, thank you for having me on, Bryant, and the kind words, for subscribing to my YouTube. Hit it up.
Tony, it is always a pleasure to have you. Wait, hold on. Are we running a 14-card sideboard? Tony, there's only 14 cards on the sideboard.
Is that occurring right now? 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14. What did I...
You sent me a 14-card sideboard. That's why we lost. We were playing a sideboard card short.
What did I take out?
Wow.
Oh my God.
That explains
Perfect.
it. Our losses were all explained by a lack of a sideboard card. This entire league is Tony's fault for a bad deck list. Had nothing to do with me or my poor play. Tony, this is your fault. I'm just letting you know that now.
So I have a confession. This is not the first time that this has occurred to me with this deck in the past week. A few days ago, I did the same thing. I 4-1 the league, but I was like, what the hell? I didn't put a 15th card.
All right, well, it could be that Helm of Obedience or something else. But Tony, I really do want to thank you once again for coming on the channel. We always love having you on, and the fans do too. They love our banter. So thanks again.
No problem.
All right, everyone. Have a great day and keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.